back and forth series again for the Thunder. They lose tonight 116-107 in Indiana. They have one day off and get back around and do this again on Friday, and they've got to be a lot better, Jay, across the board. Tonight, turnovers were just abysmal throughout the night. I mean, I think Indiana scored 23 points off of turnovers. That's the difference in the game. And the thing is, Jay, a lot of them unforced turnovers, just bad. 4 turnovers on inbounds passes, 3 by Cason Wallace. It was bad, Jay.
They deserve to lose the game tonight.
Oh, they didn't play well. I can't believe they only lost by 9.
Well, they got to be better than they were. You can't turn the ball over that many times in this type of game. A couple of things that I noticed outside of the turnovers. I thought Mark got out coached pretty bad tonight.
In what way, Jay?
Because from my point of view, I thought that Indiana, compared to the first 2 games of the series, they brought a lot more pressure right past half court and were trapping. They brought a lot of pressure, similar to what Denver was doing. A little bit similar, a little bit different though. But the pressure on the guards was way more physical, more pressure on them when they cross half court. And
Shai was bad out of the double team, Jay.
But I don't think Mark really ever adjusted to that. I don't think that now
Jay, that wasn't Mark. Jason, Shai was bad out of the double team. Would you agree?
Yeah, I don't think
he's got to pass the ball quicker, Jay.
I think get rid of it quicker and then try to get it back probably is the best way to go.
Get it back. They would have got layups and wide open shots, Jay. You've got to pass quicker out of the double team. Shai was not good out of the double team. And I'll give you – look, Chet was horrible in the second half. Cason Wallace has been terrible this series.
I think what you're seeing from – listen, I think what you're seeing from Cason Wallace is
terrible.
If you stop yelling, I'm going to finish my point here. I think it's a 21-year-old player in a finals experience. Like 21 years old. This is different animal. And I think you might be seeing it really. But what do you do? Who do you play instead of Wallace, Jeremy? Who do you play more of?
You either go 2 bigs or you start Caruso or you do something like that. I mean, you don't have to bench Wallace, but he played too many minutes, Jay. First half, he barely sat.
I'd have to look at his minutes.
I'd have to look at minutes. I agree with this comment. Shai's got to pass out of the double team quicker. I'll give you an example, Jay. When Shai went out at the end of beginning of the 4th? J-Dub got double teamed and had a left-handed pass for a slashing dunk and one. Like, there are guys cutting open. You've got to find him quicker. Too many turnovers tonight across the board.
24 minutes from Wallace. Yeah, the turnovers, I think they had 20 or 21 turnovers. That's the difference in the game. I mean, I'll tell you where the game changed. Where the game changed, in my opinion, tonight. And the Thunder's not out of this series. Anybody that thinks that.
No, I'm still picking them to win the series.
In fact, I thought they'd come back to the Thunder 2-2, so you got to go win the next one. But where the game changed, in my opinion, going into the 4th quarter, J-Dub hit the 3 before the 3rd quarter ended. They went up 5. They had a lead, and then 4th quarter started, and it was like that. That thing was gone.
Turnovers.
You know what I kind of wish Mark would maybe do a little bit more of? I know you have a routine of sitting guys, but maybe not start Shai on the bench in the 4th. You had a 5-point lead. Maybe
Dude,
come on, try to.
It's just that's overanalyzed. I'm sorry, Jay. Shai wasn't great when he came in at the end, Jay.
I don't think he was great.
Jay, he went out and they went up 5 immediately. So you can't say it was just because Shai was out. That's why they got back in the game. That's a bad thing.
I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying you don't switch it like that. I'm sorry. I don't.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you had a 5-point lead and maybe you could have extended that. I don't know. Mathurin was a difference in the game for Indiana.
Absolutely.
But guys, this is what happens in basketball. When you play at home, your role players, some of those guys, look at the Thunder. Wiggins and Caruso last game at home, unbelievable.
Wiggins didn't play
at home. You get some of those performances, some guy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it is. You don't just start. Jay, they went up 5 with him on the bench. They had a great run going into the 4th. Why would you change it?
I mean, I get it.
And people are going to go overboard about Sam Presti needing to trade everyone. What are people going to say if OKC wins this? What are people going to say?
That's dumb. The Thunder lost to Denver. They were down 2-1. I see what he's saying here. And also, they do have to. I do think the Thunder on the road, that's when sometimes they have defensive issues. They didn't play very good defensively tonight. I don't think they played very good.
I'm not sure why Chet is driving the ball. I don't know why Chet is driving the ball. He started off really well. But
yeah, it's just one game.
Late, you cannot have him driving the ball.
Yeah, and this is a true stat. I saw this.
But Jay, it was also a game one winner was won 70% of the time. You just never know. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Jay, I can tell you something right now. If OKC goes down 3-1, I'm still picking him to win the series.
That'd be a very difficult task. You need to win the next
game. It would be, but they played horrible tonight, Jay. Awful turnovers. Awful, unforced errors.
It wasn't good. But you got to figure out the adjustments to make. The Thunder really never got comfortable, a big enough lead after that, first quarter, what were they up 35-27 or something like that? Maybe it was their biggest lead. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, they were up 9 at one point.
Yeah, so just got to make some adjustments. I think you got to make some adjustments going into Friday. I don't know what it is. Maybe, I thought about this. Maybe one change I might make would be to have J-Dub or somebody bring it up a little bit more at the first of the game to get Shai. They did that one game. Was it against Denver? They did that a little bit, switched up a little bit.
He had 4 assists tonight, I think, Shai. Was that what he had? He's got to have 8 to 10 assists for this team because they are all 3 or 4 guys on him, and he's got to pass better out of the double team.
Now, Talon says they'll win 4 and 5. I have that as well. But they got to win this fourth one. This is the game. This is the one. This is the game, in my opinion. It makes or breaks.
Chuck, that's not an accurate take because everyone's played aggressive against OKC.
No, but I see what Chuck's saying, though. Defensively, the Pacers have really changed up. They have gotten very, very physical. Very physical. Changed
up. I don't understand that. OKC scored 100 and something points tonight. They turned the ball over tonight.
It wasn't the difference in the game. That was the difference in the game, Germ.
4 of them were inbound passes, Jay. Just throw them in. No physicality at all, Jay.
Take 4 off of it. You still have 17 or 18, the most in the playoffs for the Thunder. The defense affected them, Germ. When are you going to understand that? Defense affected them.
I didn't say the defense didn't affect them. You act like no one has been physical with this team. It's a bad take.
The Pacers are more physical than any team's been with them. Guards. I'm talking about the guards.
Oh, now you're changing certain players. Okay.
When the ball is in Shai's hands a lot, J-Dub's hand a lot, out front they're being more physical.
Jay, have they stopped Shai the first 2 games? Did they stop him being physical? He had 34 and 38.
Jeremy, I get what you're saying, but they are being more physical and affecting passes and everything tonight. I thought they were more physical.
Inbound passes was no one on them. Just threw it into the guy.
I thought they took it to the Thunder a little bit, honestly.
Well, Chet got out physical, but he always does.
I thought more than Chet. I think more than Chet got out physical.
How many free throws did Shai have tonight?
I don't know. Not sure. Many. I don't have it in front of me. Chief, thanks for the super. Says Dagnall is costing his team.
Jay's the Wallace guy. That's his boy.
Wallace is horrible right now. What? I was trying to read the comment. What did you say?
Wallace is your guy, so I'd like to hear you explain.
Dude, Wallace is my guy? How's he my guy? I don't have guys.
You said he's as good as Dort defensively at times.
I said he will be.
Okay.
He's 21, dude. What was Dort doing at 21, Germ?
Well, here's the problem. You either have to start 2 bigs if you've been. I don't think starting them is being bad. I mean, you say this, Chief T-Bird, and by the way, thanks for the super. You say that, but they're up 8 most of the first half. They were up 5 going to the fourth. They didn't 2 out of the 3 games, they didn't close out in the fourth. And a lot of that has to do with SGA.
Well, a lot of it has to do with they were not the more physical team. And they let Indiana dictate on the defensive side when the Thunder had the ball. They let them dictate the possession. There were so many possessions. The Thunder got up at the top of the key, trying to run a two-man game, would get close.
It was SGA, Jay. Go back and watch. He's not passing with 3 guys on him.
And then it would end up being a one-on-one possession at the end of the clock. So let me finish reading the super chat. Did I not read it all? The only thing worse is SGA's defense. Pathetic. Hey, Chief, thanks for the super. Appreciate it. I think overall the Thunder's defense tonight was not that good.
Oh, it was bad, Jay.
I don't think it was that good. They just haven't been as good defensively on the road in the playoffs. But they've won the games that have mattered in the playoffs, and Game 4 is the one that matters now, and you got to go win it. Period. Indiana has confidence right now. So
I don't like this take. I mean, through 2 games he was unbelievable in everything he did. Tonight, he just, in my opinion, he didn't pass well. He's got to get rid of it quicker when they're bringing that many at him. Let's get to Colin.
We got 3 callers online, so we'll make them quick here. Colin, you're up.
How you guys doing?
Frustrated.
Doing all right, man.
But yeah, you guys have hit the nail on the head. It's just the stupid turnovers, especially off the inbound pass, where you give up a layup and then half the time you're just passing. And it just looked like Indiana wanted it more. We can't have 0 bench points hardly half the game. Our bench has to step up. Again, we went 11 guys in the first quarter, which I still hate trying to rotate that many people in. Kendrick Williams shouldn't get first quarter minutes. I feel like Shai needs to be playing longer. But I think
he played almost the whole first and third quarter. He didn't sit any.
I do think the ball pressure was definitely getting to us.
It was
a lot because they're like, and it just looked like the Pacers wanted it more. You saw even on the inbound passes, like they were hustling, they were being physical, and I just, and it looked at the end, you just saw the Thunder out of gas. Like they just couldn't do anything down the stretch. And I honestly, even though I'm a huge optimistic, like I don't know how we could possibly win. Like we just have to win Game 4 because if we go down 3-1, I think the series is probably over. And I just keep thinking about that Game 1 loss and how every game it hurts.
It kills. That game killed.
Because without that, we're up 2-1 right now.
Oh, yeah, and they would have had a lot more pressure on them tonight. Indiana would have.
Well, hey, I agree with what you're saying, but what I disagree with you, Jay, Chuck, on everything is if SGA passes better out of the double and triple team, OKC's got any shot.
It's not just SGA.
It was Jay. He was the majority of the issue bringing the ball up.
A big part of the game at the end, J-Dub had a turnover. They had pressure all over him. He couldn't find anybody open.
J-Dub had a bad turnover there, yeah.
Pressure dictated this game. Pressure beat the Thunder tonight.
I know I'll wrap it up, but like some of the refs calls, like I don't think we shouldn't have had to challenge that out of bounds play. That was obvious, like the backcourt violations. There's this, but again, you just can't let refs dictate games. But we have to come out different and a lot harder and physical and faster Game 4, or our season is done.
Agree, Colin.
I agree.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. I agree.
J-Dub did keep him in the game, I thought. I mean, J-Dub scored well tonight.
Let's get to Greg. Greg, you're on the line.
Hey, guys. My question is, this is the NBA Finals. How are we coming out this flat? I mean, at this point, sure, this series isn't over. We're only down 2-1, but I mean, we're not going to have many more chances to win. And again, like I've said, we've given this team the confidence to beat us. They think they can come out on the court, and they just got to try harder than we do, and they'll beat us. I mean, that's.
Do you think they came out flat with turnovers because of the turnovers, or?
Well, I guess I shouldn't say came out flat, but we definitely came out flat in the second. Really, after the first quarter, I thought.
Bad second quarter, bad fourth quarter.
I knew we were really in trouble when they essentially went on like an 8-0 run just off of forcing turnovers again off the inbound. Like
inbound, exactly.
You make that mistake once, okay. They caught you in a blind spot, but the fact that kept happening, and we were essentially letting them press the entire game, and we didn't do anything to really try to fix that. Yep. And we were also just giving the ball back to them too many times, actually not running the offense. Like I feel like at some point a good offense is a good defense. Like you just got to keep the ball out of the other team's hands, and we just put up too many bad shots, not really running the offense.
Yeah, and I also thought tonight though was a very, very resembled the Denver game 3 in Denver, where Thunder had a lot of crazy wild turnovers. They looked like they were not really there. Do you remember that game 3 in Denver? This is very eerily similar in my opinion. Making mental mistakes tonight that just like Caruso, that type of veteran just throwing the ball to McConnell right underneath the basket. I mean,
yeah,
it just can't happen.
I mean, I guess we're going away from what we were basically doing the entire season to win, with these silly lineups and at times and playing Wallace. I don't know. It's just, we better play the next game like it's an elimination game because it essentially is. Again, the series ain't over, but we are quickly running out of chances to make mistakes. And I'm telling you, Indy, they smell blood, and they're going to try to put this away come Friday night. And if we don't bring our game, again, biggest choke job in NBA history, in my opinion. They better bring it.
It'd be bad to lose the finals this year it would be very bad.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
Thunder up.
I will say though, Jay, a lot of it starts on offense with ball movement, and I just thought SGA dribbled too much. I'll get ripped for it on here, but whatever.
Let's get to Platone. What's up, Platone?
Hey, Jerm, I agree with you. The ball movement is not there. Our compare our assists to theirs. I mean, I don't expect us to get the same assist numbers that the Pacers do, but we're not even close. We did better in the second game, but the third game and first game we were terrible passing the ball. Our guys are content to dribble around and hope that somebody just gets open without other people running off ball to make themselves open. And I see that happen over and over again, especially at the end. I saw Chet dribble around multiple times. I saw J-Dub dribble around multiple times. Shea did it multiple times. It's not just one guy. They're all doing that. And when you have a guy on the other team, the Pacers backup point guard, T.J. McConnell, who single-handedly outplayed almost all of our players with effort. Yeah. Now, I know he didn't score a lot of points. I think he only had like 10 points, but man, that dude had a far bigger impact than the vast majority of any of our individual guys did. I mean, that guy wanted it. He single-handedly generated a lot of turnovers against us with those inbounds. The other thing I'm kind of upset with Dagnall. I feel like when we went into halftime, I think 3 of their starters had 3 fouls going into halftime, and I didn't see any concerted effort at all to try to drive up their foul count. True. Now, is Dagnall ignoring that and not telling his guys, hey, this guy's got 3 fouls, so let's try to target him? Or is he not telling them that? Like, I also understand like when they started going a big run, like at 4 or 5 minutes left in the fourth, no timeouts on our end. We just kept playing like everything was normal. I mean, we have. It's not like we were down to our last timeout, guys. I don't understand why he can't call a timeout. We need to focus on this. I don't understand.
Hey, that's been an issue I think for a while. I've noticed is like there's been games where teams go on these massive run, and it's like just call a timeout. Like, I mean, especially a team like Indiana, they can get hot like that. Just don't. I mean, if you feel them getting a couple shots in a row, and they're getting call a timeout. You got plenty of them. I agree with you, Platone.
Right. I feel like also we have a young team, right? Our guys need to be reminded of the things to watch out for. If we would have targeted the Pacers better, done some better targeting to get those fouls up, because you notice like none of them got to even 5 fouls. Like I think the only one of them got 4. So that's like we didn't target them at all for fouls. Like a team that has more experience does a better job of that. I remember watching finals in the past where the opposing coaches that said, okay, we're going to target this guy, we're going to go after him, and we didn't do that. We just kind of played our regular game. I don't know. It's frustrating, but I'll hang up.
It is, and that's the frustrating part. I mean, this team, and thanks for the call, Platone. This team is so good, and then they have these moments. It's like, man. But you know what? I got to say this team is good enough to go win the next 3 games and win this series in 6. It is. It's also going to have a lapse and may lose this series in 6. So I think this team's really good. I do think I was a little bit kind of shocked. You're in the fourth quarter and the Thunder have 3 team fouls and Indiana had 4. They were letting them play. It was a very physical game. I thought the Thunder might kind of be a little more physical on defense, but they really weren't. That's probably the biggest shock.
They let him get in the paint, Jay. They guarded the three well. I mean,
I'm going to say it right now.
They didn't lose because of 3-pointers tonight. I know that.
20 minutes into this live show, Chuck, your comment that you put in here, I think it's the one. It's the pressure beat the Thunder tonight. The pressure of the Pacers beat the Thunder tonight.
And the fact that
end of story. That's it. It beat him tonight.
And the fact that and by the way, the question about is SGA Supermax, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But Jay, if you pass out of the triple teams, you're getting people are saying OKC was standing around. They were standing wide open in the corner, wide open diagonally, and wide open cutting the basket, and they didn't find them. Period.
Make adjustments. You got to make adjustments.
You got to pass the ball, Jason.
Well, that's an adjustment, Germ. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it was specifically mainly one player. Specifically one player, Jay. Shai has to get 8 to 10 assists. He had 4, I think, tonight.
Well, to me, it's very.
When he went out, they were scoring and moving the ball, Jay.
To me, it's very clear.
Don't take that wrongly. Don't take that wrongly.
To me, it's very clear what happened. Carlisle, after game 2, if you remember game 2, SGA at the beginning of the game got everybody involved, was really.
That's how they started tonight, Jay.
He did a really good job.
SGA had 4 points in the first quarter, and they were up 8.
Really good job splitting the. If you notice, game 2, Shai would split the double team off this pick. They didn't allow that tonight, and they never adjusted. He had.
Alan, they weren't in terrible position, man. They weren't. Go back and watch.
Game 2, he was able to do what he wanted with that 2-man game up top. He couldn't do it tonight. Do you know why? Way more physical on him.
They brought 3 guys, Jay.
Way more physical. Okay, more physical.
3.
That's fine.
They brought 3 guys half the time.
I'm just saying they didn't adjust.
And several times, SGA dribbled to the corner baseline and tried to back his guy and do 20-foot fadeaways, Jay.
Here's the thing, and here's what you got. You got as a Thunder fan, if you've watched the Thunder this year, 19-2, coming off a loss. I do think Mark Dagnall's really good at making next game changes. I don't know about in-game changes as much as next game, but they usually play really good the next game. I would expect them to. I expect the Thunder to come out and win on Friday night and go 20-2 after a loss. I do. I expect that.
Can we hold up right now? No one is saying Shai lost in the game. All I said was when I was critical of Shai, which is one other time in the Denver series, Jay. You remember this on the live show. I was very critical of Shai. I'm critical of him tonight, even though he scored a lot. And my only issue is when there's 2 or 3 guys, I don't think he needs to be shooting the ball. If he's one-on-one all day long, take him to the rack, even if it's one-on-one with the guy coming right off the help, fine. 2 or 3, you cannot do this. You cannot do that. Sorry. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Hey, we got Colin back online. What's up, Colin? You there?
Yeah. I just wanted to quickly respond because I heard you guys talking about like the effort. And I felt like I also saw the same where like I remember that late in the game where Shai contested Halliburton's shot and just stood there as Halliburton ran to get the rebound and extend that. But also on offense, we have to help. We can't get stuck in the corners. There was a lot of times where they're double teaming the ball player up top, and no one's coming to help get the ball. They're just stuck right there, and we have 5 seconds to throw up a shot, and it's like we have to do a better effort at trying to help the offense generate looks and move the ball, not just sit in the corner and everyone run to the paint or like opposite side 3 and kind of isolate.
Yeah, I agree with some of that, Colin.
It's the same thing as what happened game 1 where Indiana's going to live with Shai shooting 30 shots. They're going to let Shai get his own.
He only shot 21 tonight, I think.
But the thing is, like, of course, bench points were the biggest factor, but I do agree that Shai needs to try to get his players going a little bit better, like Halliburton does, where he's trying to assist and always like pass and try to. I feel like Shai tries to take a shot a little, maybe too many times.
Yeah, and I have a horrible issue with Chet shooting 0 for 6 on I didn't say Chet was any good, Mets. And one thing SGA didn't
Thanks,
do well,
Colin.
Jay.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks,
Hey,
Colin.
one thing SGA didn't do well tonight. He didn't get into the paint and to the basket much.
Okay, that brings up something. This
They had
goes
three
back.
guys on him, but
This go back to the pressure, in my opinion. When they brought that pressure out front, I think the Thunder could have forced the hand and tried to just drive right off the bat to try to
or
draw.
pass out of it.
But they really let it bother them tonight. And I see people saying effort. I don't think it was an effort. I think they were kind of, it looked to me like they were kind of like a little bit shocked at what Indiana was doing. I thought they were a little surprised.
They just had horrible turnovers, Jay. Jeez. Careless mistakes, dude. Overanalyzing. Like terrible turnovers.
Yeah, bad turnovers. I agree.
Terrible turnovers.
Hey, you go win game 4 and you're right there 2-2.
In fact, about 8 of the turnovers, Indiana didn't even do anything. OKC literally throw them the ball.
I don't like to get too high after a win, and I don't like to get too low after a loss in these things because that's the NBA. Things happen. The thing is, if you are the best team in the NBA, you'll go win the next 2 games and go up 3-2.
I agree. I agree, Jay.
Period. Go look at the Warriors back when they beat the Thunder. They were down 3-1, but they were the better team. And then they showed up. But that doesn't mean the Thunder are going to win game 4. They have to show up and play. They have to not turn the ball over. They have to make some adjustments. Because right now, I think Indiana's making
Mathurin was great tonight, man.
Indiana's being a little more physical, and Mathurin was great tonight.
Neesmith had 1-3 all night, I think. Halliburton played better tonight, but
Halliburton was more aggressive tonight.
They did worse. They switched too much, in my opinion.
Here's the thing. Just like when the Thunder play at home, when you go on the road in the NBA Finals, Mathurin, McConnell, these guys are going to play good at home.
Well,
you
McConnell,
have to be way better.
Wiggins did the best on McConnell.
You have to be a lot better on the road than you are at home to win these games.
Jay, do you think they start Ihart, and Chet together?
I think the Case and Wallace starting has to be done and over with.
Even though they controlled 2 games easily?
Yeah, I think it needs to be changed a little bit. Make an adjustment. See what happens. Ihart needs to play more. I don't think Ihart was great tonight.
Oh, he wasn't very good, Jay.
But I do think getting him in there. I wish the Thunder would do this a little bit. When they are being so physical with the Thunder, put your 2 bigs on and get Chet off the 3-point line and get him down there. I know. Get 2 bigs down there.
He's not very good down there. Chet is horrible down low. What are you talking about?
Germ, the play where Jada passed it to him, cutting to the rim from the wing.
Well, yeah, he can cut, but he's not a post player.
Stuff like that. I'm saying get him off the 3-point line a little bit, especially when he's not hitting.
Hey, what was the comment about? Let's see. It was the Indiana crowd good? Yeah, it wasn't OKC good, I didn't think, but
I thought it was a pretty good crowd.
It was good. Hey,
Reggie
Eric, I've got
there.
2 questions for Eric tonight. I just want to see if he'll answer. I'm only asking you these, Eric, because I asked you in the Discord and you never would answer. So I really just want you to answer these 2 questions, and I'll wait. Just answer these 2. Question 1, who are you rooting for? And question 2, who are you picking to win the series? I just want those 2. Number 1, who are you rooting for? Number 2, who are you picking to win the series? I don't think you'll give your answers, but I'm asking you. Yeah, I know. See, that's exactly what I would expect from you, Eric. Weak. That's what I would expect. You don't put an answer in because you kind of want to be able to say whatever at the end, but that's fine. You be you, man. I'm not going to harp on it anymore. I just wanted to ask one last time, and I figured you'd do that. You sell out. That's good.
Ryan, I do think Chet's, I see what you're saying about soft to play low. And I'm not necessarily saying just be a big guy and play down low. I'm just saying get a little bit off the 3-point line. I mean, he tried to drive a couple times from there and kind of got pushed around a little bit. So I see what you're saying. I am surprised Jay Will hasn't played any. None.
He played tonight in the first half, Jay. I don't know why he was.
Oh, did he?
Did
he play a little bit in the first half?
I agree. Corrections. I think
you're right.
I think OKC is going to win it. But you really need to win game 4.
Yeah, you got to win, Jerm. Game 4, you have to win. If you're the best team in the NBA and you're 19-2 coming off losses, you got to go win game 4. And you know what? You go win game 4, you got the split you needed. You get 2 of it. Listen, this is a pretty simple series right here. Okay? It's pretty simple from here on out. Thunder down 2-1. If they win and go 2-2, they would have to win 2 of the next 3, and they have 2 at home. You got to feel pretty good if you're the Thunder. So go win this next one, get the split, go back to OKC, try to win 2 out of 3, and you're the champs. Got to win game 4. Period.
They have to win 3 of 4, Jay.
Correct.
Yeah, that's.
But 2 of those are at home, Germ.
And Indiana's got to win 2 out of 4.
I can do math.
Okay.
You have to win on the road. That's what I'm saying. They have to win game 4, Germ. I mean, what did you not understand about that?
I understand it very well, Jay.
I think the Thunder have to do better against their guards. They got to do a little bit better this game. I don't think their defense was as good this game against their guards.
Well, they did kind of what you wanted, which was not allow the 3 ball a lot.
No, not near the end. They allowed too many threes.
What were
down
the totals?
Mathurin got hot. Mathurin got hot.
OKC was getting destroyed in the paint. One thing you said, they couldn't beat OKC with 2s. They did tonight.
Turn that camera off as soon as you say that. I love how you do that.
I'm looking something up, dude.
Chill, bro. I agree, Greg. The defense, it's been really good by Indiana. I mean, even though the Thunder scored pretty good amount in first 2 games, I think they've put a lot of pressure on the Thunder. I don't think it has worked all the time, but I do think they're putting a lot of pressure, specifically on the guards. I think they're getting a lot of pressure on them. I think that's one reason Cason Wallace hasn't played as good. I think he's getting a lot more pressure on him. You got Shai, J-Dub. You know, guys, I know Caruso. I don't think Caruso was great tonight. But he had some turnovers. It's typically not like Caruso. But hey,
Jay, OKC tonight. OKC tonight. If I'd have told you these stats, you'd have thought OKC would have dominated. OKC, 10 of 22 from 3s. They barely, way under their amount of 3s they shoot. So that's what you wanted, not as many 3s. And then Pacers, 9 of 37.
What's your point?
Sorry, 9 of 27 and 10 of 22. It's OKC didn't allow as many 3s and they didn't shoot as many 3s and they lost. 2 things you said wouldn't happen.
Germ,
you always say OKC shoots too many 3s.
They out-rebounded him 42-36. All of this is fine and dandy-o, Germ. Fine and dandy-o.
Oh, I'm just saying, you made a couple comments that OKC cannot lose.
There's a thing called turnovers.
And you know what? Lou Dort's been on fire. He's not going to keep shooting this well.
This game is pretty simple tonight. Turnovers. The pressure and the turnovers beat the Thunder.
Shai had 6 turnovers.
What are we doing here?
Shai had 6 turnovers.
Yeah, turnovers was bad.
Shai was.
That's what this comes down to. I mean, you've coached Pee Wee basketball. You can't turn the ball over and win games. This is the NBA Finals, dude. You're not going to win games doing that. I mean, go look at the game.
Where I thought J-Dub played pretty well. He's got to get more looks. I mean.
Yep, and you're right, Mark. This only start that matters. Points in the game. The Thunder lost that total tonight. Lose game 3 in Indianapolis. Game 4, right around the corner. No extra day this time. Friday night. Big one there in Indianapolis. As Thunder got to win to get this thing evened up at 2-2, Jeremy.
Absolutely. Hey, shout out to Chief T-Bird for the super and everyone that joined us tonight.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Frustrating night for Thunder fans. You get one night off and you get back on action. That may be a good thing for the Thunder, Jay. But we'll be here Friday night, but we'll be here tomorrow night for a normal 9:30 live show to talk all things Sooner sports. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll catch you later.
See ya.